It's June 17th, 2021, and I wanted to comment on the Jimmy Dore, Ana Kasparian, Young Turks dust up. For those who don't know, Jimmy Dore has come under fire recently as a sexist by Sam Seder of the Majority Report and Nomiki Konst and Emma Vigeland. Um, their June 15th, 2021 video criticized Jimmy as a sexual harasser for admitting that he humiliated Ana Kasparian. Now, they're saying that since he admitted humiliating her, it must have been intentional. Well, he says that he did not intend to humiliate her. He wanted to embarrass her enough to get her to stop exposing herself at work, but he didn't want to humiliate her so much that the whole crew and her own students laughed at her. Unfortunately, that's what happened. Jimmy Dore apologized. He said that Ana Kasparian accepted that apology. That was something like 5 years ago. And now this is happening. Ana Kasparian and Cenk Uygur have gotten into an argument with Jimmy Dore and Aaron Mate over their reporting on Syria, and they're just mutual dislike of each other over, who's the real journalist and who's the better journalist slash comedian. And just Jimmy Dore was criticizing Cenk for being too much of a Howard Stern type, a shock jock back in the day. Um, and I just wanted to comment on, so in case you didn't get the background, Ana Kasparian bent over and exposed herself at work accidentally while wearing a very short skirt. And so I wanted to comment on this June 15th, 2021 video by Sam Seder called Jimmy Dore Brags About Harassing Ana Kasparian. Now, Sam Seder is taking the position, and the women with him, Nomiki Konst and Emma Vigeland, they're taking the position that for Jimmy Dore to say that Ana Kasparian was asking to be humiliated by Jimmy Dore's joke by wearing that dress, they're comparing that to saying a woman deserved rape because of what she was wearing. Now, I get why it's similar because it's kind of saying that, oh, there was a reason for this and that's why I did that. But Jimmy Dore didn't rape her. He slightly embarrassed her and then he apologized and gave her a gift and she accepted it. Like, it's a little bit overreaction for what's going on. So they're basically accusing Jimmy Dore of rape, of raping Ana Kasparian, of sexually harassing Ana Kasparian, because she claims that sexual harassment happened twice or more when Jimmy Dore is saying it only happened once and he apologized, and another time that he allegedly sexually harassed her, she exaggerated because he says he was asking, where'd you get those jeans? Like, that could be interpreted as like a complimentary thing or it could be teasing. I don't know. But no, it doesn't sound like teasing to me. So for them to accuse Jimmy Dore basically of rape, for them to compare his comments to saying that a woman was asking for it because she was dressed a certain way, that is absolutely not what he's doing. And Sam Seder and his guests are being really dishonest when they say that Jimmy Dore is the one who's being sexually harassing here. Now, he admitted he humiliated her, but he did that accidentally. Now, something that Sam Seder and other people defending Ana Kasparian in this situation, something I think they haven't considered is the possibility that Ana Kasparian was being sexually harassing. For example, think about it. If a man were to expose himself at work, whether accidentally or on purpose, it would be okay to talk to him about it. If it made people uncomfortable, it's something that you should talk about, whether it's a man or a woman. If they're exposing themselves accidentally or on purpose, you should talk to them about it. Obviously, Jimmy Dore's joke was hurtful to her, so he could have done it in private. That's a much more dignified way he could have gone about it. There's good ways to go about it instead of joking. But Jimmy Dore is not a rapist. He's not a sexual harasser. If anything, Ana Kasparian is a sexual harasser. Who goes around and parades themselves in front of their students and in front of their coworkers in revealing outfits? I don't do that. But what, she gets to do it because what? She's a woman and women are oppressed and therefore women need to fight back by, attracting men. And then she's on the show. She confessed to trying to flirt with a married man so that he would buy her an $80 pair of shoes. Like, I don't think this woman's, heart is in the right place. And I don't think these people at Young Turks or Sam Seder Show, Majority Report, I don't think they're too interested in talking about Alexandra Tara Reid's accusations against Joe Biden or the accusations leveled by any one of the other 8 women that he sexually harassed or sexually assaulted or was accused of sexually harassing. So Sam Seder does not have the best record um, of protecting women or children for that matter. Here's a tweet. I don't know what the context of this is, but about 10 years ago, 5, 10 years ago, Sam Seder made a tweet. Now, immediately, it's a joke because, like, Sam Seder, Cenk Uygur, Jimmy Dore, they all want to be comedians and journalists. Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert. But that allows you to become like a chameleon. Like, remember, a comedian was the president of Iceland for a while, and he was cool. But a comedian became the president of Ukraine for a while. And then we had a comedian as a president here in the United States with Donald Trump. And then Trump and Hillary Clinton were at the Al Smith dinner, the Catholic charity dinner, making jokes about each other as if we don't know that they're friends. And they're laughing at the American people. They're laughing at the people who don't know this is all a club. They're in the same club. And this is like Schrodinger's racist or Schrodinger's rapist in this case. It's, the Schrodinger's immigrant idea. I'm playing off that. The idea that you don't know if an immigrant is lazy or trying to take your job and take all your money. It's like, well, how can they be rich and trying to take your job at the same time as they're poor and lazy? It doesn't make sense. So that's Schrodinger's immigrant. Now, Schrodinger's racist is a person who tells a racist joke and then waits to see if people laugh, and if the people who laugh say, "Oh yeah, it was a joke," and if they don't laugh, say, "Yeah, it was a joke. I didn't mean it seriously." It's like, well, you can say anything as long as you disguise it as a joke. Here's something that Sam Seder tried to disguise as a joke in a tweet from September 29th, 2009. Don't care re Polanski, so I don't care about Roman Polanski, but I hope if my daughter is raped, it is by an older, truly talented man with a great sense of mise en scène. So he's saying that Roman Polanski is such a great director that he almost wouldn't mind if Polanski raped his own daughter. That's the kind of person that Sam Seder is. So if you're going to stop watching the Young Turks, unsubscribe from the Young Turks, I suggest that Sam Seder and the Majority Report and Emma Vigeland, however you say that, Nomiki Konst, I don't know how I pronounce Konst better than Vigeland. Yeah, don't watch them. Don't watch them. They don't, they might talk about like socialist history every once in a while, but that woman Jamie, she's not on the Sam Seder show anymore. By the way, Terry Richardson, who's like Miley Cyrus loves this guy. He photographed her. He photographs a lot of teenage girls. That Jamie Peck, who went from Sam Seder's show to somewhere else, she was sexually harassed by Terry Richardson. Like, he almost raped her at a photo session that they had. Like, he got naked too. He gets naked while filming the women he photographs because he likes it when they're scared. And he tries to hit on them. And I don't know if Sam Seder has exposed that. And I would think that if I were Jamie Peck, I probably wouldn't be comfortable talking about male abusers on Sam Seder's show when he has joked about, like, he's almost like wishing that a rich, talented director would rape his daughter. It's like, he probably lives in New York. You can go out and meet Woody Allen anytime. You can go make that happen, Sam, if you don't care about women and children and just want to turn your life into a joke and turn all of our lives into a joke. So, in my opinion, because of that tweet, Sam Seder is in no position to judge Jimmy Dore as almost calling him a rapist. And by the way, the idea that Sam Seder and his guests are trying to pull off is the idea that it's more like sexual harassment to tell someone to stop exposing themselves at work than it is like sexual harassment to expose yourself at work. So I don't think that way. I think exposing yourself at work is sexual harassment. I think that telling someone to stop exposing themselves at work, I think that's stopping sexual harassment. That's anti-sexual harassment to tell someone to stop exposing themselves at work. See, there's this idea out there that a man cannot be raped because a woman doesn't have a penis, but it's like there are dildos, there are sex toys, there are women rapists. There's an idea out there that a man cannot be sexually harassed, for example, at work, because he always likes it. It's like, well, what if Ana Kasparian was bending over in front of a gay guy? What if a woman hits on a man against his will and it's a gay guy, or if he just doesn't like her? If it happens more than once and they say no clearly, like, back off. It's unwanted. So exposing yourself at work, it's not hitting on a person because it's not intentional. So you can understand each side, each person's side here. Jimmy Dore did not intend to humiliate her, but he did accidentally. Ana Kasparian did not intend to expose herself, but she did accidentally. They both made mistakes. people made mistakes. And for me to say that Jimmy Dore is not a rapist, that's not me taking Jimmy Dore's side. That's not me endorsing rape. That's not me endorsing demeaning women based on what they're wearing. You should have some damn sense and not try to be sexy at work unless it's part of your job, like a stripper or something, or in sex work. If you're a comedian and you're not trying to be sexy to get a laugh, then you should not be dressing in a revealing skirt. Like, this is not me telling you what to wear on your own free time among, adults and shit, consenting adults in society. But when you're at work, you should dress how your employer more or less wants you to. I understand she was her own employer, but she has students. She has people like looking at her. She has people trying to learn from her. And if they learn from her that it's okay to dress provocatively or to expose yourself at work, they're not going to have a healthy environment. Now, of course, Jimmy Dore joking about it is not exactly going to reinforce that healthy environment either. Like, it probably would have been better if Jimmy Dore had taken, some of her students aside, or I don't know, messaged a few people and aside from just Ana herself, and apologize for what he said. It might not hurt for Jimmy Dore to say to some of the people who Ana Kasparian worked with that he's apologized for the way he talked to her, and he could have done that in a much more private manner. But at the same time, Kasparian doesn't need to dress that way in order to do her job. And I don't know a single man that regularly, except plumbers, I guess, like who you have to worry about exposing themselves. Like, I'm not saying Ana Kasparian is like Harvey Weinstein, like she's exposing herself to someone who doesn't want it, because again, it was unintentional. But like I'm saying, there's an idea that a man cannot be sexually harassed. And when a woman flashes you at work, whether she did it on purpose or not, if it makes you uncomfortable, that feeling is valid. And other people should recognize it if they want to engage with it or want to talk about it at all. You have to recognize that someone's uncomfortable. And if it's a man, you have to deal with that shit. Sometimes the victim is a man. Okay? Newsflash.